everyone, I'm JS and welcome once again to freedrumcoaching.com. This week I'm taking on the subject of traditional grip or match grip. I must have rocks in my head because I'm already anticipating people just going absolutely nuts on me when I'm done with this lesson. But you know what? It has to be done. This is such a topic that so many drummers are so afraid to touch base on because they're afraid of offending drummers, and it's just gone so way out of proportion. Traditional grip, match grip, traditional, match, traditional, matched. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about why I play match grip and what my view and my take on traditional grip is, okay? But before I get into that and I discuss that, I just want to say one thing. If you play match grip or you play traditional grip, that is absolutely fine. Remember, I recently mentioned you are on your own drumming journey. And whatever you feel is right for you, whatever you feel looks best for you, whatever you feel feels best for you, and whatever sounds best for you and is just all around best for you, that's what you choose. If you want to play traditional grip, there's nothing wrong with traditional grip. Okay? If you want to play match grip, there's nothing wrong with match grip. But I, of course, am going to express some of my own personal opinions. And I definitely have some opinions on traditional grip. But before I talk about that, let me discuss why I play matched grip. Match grip. Holding the sticks the same way in both hands. Right off the bat, this is a more balanced grip. It's undeniable, scientifically proven. Look at it, it's a balanced position of your hands. The other thing that will enable and create is a more fluid motion. You will be able to have more freedom of movement, which will allow you more overall fluidity around the drum kit. All right, and the other thing that match grip gives you is a lot more access to power, but you also have the control and grace you need for all the low stuff. Okay? So match grip for me just makes the most common sense. It's the logical grip. It's the balanced grip. If there were two sticks and I said pick those up and play on those drums, you would walk over, you would pick them up and hold them like this, and you would play on the drums. Regardless whether your fulcrum was wrong or your positioning was wrong, you would hold the sticks in a matched grip fashion. Okay, so why don't I like traditional grip? Well, before we even really look at traditional grip and talk about the positioning and stuff, let's talk about what traditional grip is. Traditional grip. Traditional grip was developed for one reason alone. I kid you not, one reason alone. In the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, drummers actually walked down the field of battle with guys shooting at themselves. Plain as day. They hung the drums around their neck. If the drum hung flat and they were marching, their knees were hitting the bottom of the drum. They angled the drums and turned them sideways so they can now walk and their knees were not hitting the bottom of the drum. But now what happened is, because they were originally and traditionally playing matched grip, they couldn't comfortably play the drum like this now. Remember, they were playing like this, but when they stood up and started marching, they couldn't walk because they were hitting the drum. Turned it to the side, they couldn't play like this, so what did they do? Watch my hand. They turned it over. Now, they can play the drum at this angle. When the war was over and everybody went home and these drummers sat behind drum sets, rather than relearning and reconditioning themselves and taking the time to go back to the proper grip, they just stayed in this position. These drummers became the working drummers. These drummers became the teachers of all the drummers that we have all learned from and have stubbornly sat there and said, No, this is the grip of the greats. If you want to play like Buddy, you have to play in traditional grip. If you want to play jazz, you have to play in jazz. Because in jazz, in traditional grip, you can get all these cool finger techniques that you cannot get in match grip. That is a myth. When you play in jazz and you're playing your ride cymbal, you are doing some of the craziest, most brilliant patterns on your cymbal. Why? Because you're using finger technique in a different position. You're not in German grip. Most likely you're in a French grip position or a hybrid of. So if I'm playing in this position and I want more finger technique, I'm going to reposition my hand. Sitting like this is an unbalanced position. It puts you in awkward positions to come around the set as opposed to a natural feeling. When you come off of things, you're taking shock in the wrong way. So listen, again, this is just my opinion on this. Other people are gonna bash me, they're gonna come at me with knives swinging and all sorts of crazy words. And like I said at the beginning of the lesson, if traditional grip works for you, then that means you have devoted the time to traditional grip because that's the way you were taught. If match grip works for you, it's because that's the way you were taught and it's working for you. But as far as incorporating finger technique, that is what unlocks your hand technique. Whether you're in German position and match grip, or you're in German position and you're in with traditional grip. Finger technique is where all that comes from. So the reason a drummer in match grip can't do the things a drummer playing traditional grip can with their left hand is because that drummer, we all know the weak hand syndrome, one, has the weak hand, but has not spent any time developing their finger technique and probably even wrist technique. And that's why in this grip, you're doing the turning like a doorknob and you're relying on the thumb to get the rebound going. Listen, again, I don't want to really take up too much time talking about this. For me, match grip is the logical grip. Again, traditional grip, which I don't call traditional grip because that's the wrong word for it. It is battlefield grip. It is a 20th century grip for a 20th century way of thinking. The only people who are defending traditional grip are people who honor old traditions, whether they're right or wrong, or people who don't want to admit that, yes, match grip is a better grip. This is the same kind of debate that goes on with, oh, I only play flat foot. Like it's some sort of prideful thing that you play the letter A out of the A to Z in foot techniques. It's not some achievement because you just play flat foot. You have to work your heel up and understand there is so many more techniques available to you. And again, if you're playing in traditional grip, you have to bring your elbow in sometimes to get into these other positions. You're compromising the safety of your joints, your wrists, and again, this is only my opinion. There are guys out there who are playing traditional grip and who are the most amazing, incredible drummers you have ever seen in your life. Jojo Mad, Benny Greb, all these drummers play traditional grip, but they all also do play match grip. They all do. Even Buddy Rich has turned his sticks into match grip before. I've seen it before. It's just undeniable. Again, whatever works best for you is what you should do. But don't let another drummer ever make you feel like you are less of a drummer because you're not playing some ancient old grip guys used so they can walk down a field when lead bullets and cannonballs were flying at their heads. These guys were literally like this. Ba, ba, ra, ba, ba, ra, ba, ba, ga, ba, 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 ra, ba. That's me dodging bullets. I mean, it is just the most insane thing to say that this is the best way to sit and play behind a kit. This is the true way to play drummers because it's the traditional way. The traditional way would be how those guys were actually playing drums before they had to stand up and walk down a battlefield and play drums. I mean, we're honoring a grip that was used to go into war and kill each other. Come on. Is that really what we're doing in the 21st century and forward? Is that really what we're going to keep on instilling in the education aspect? Are we still just going to use that stubborn type of mentality in the education system? We have to evolve and push this forward and let go of some of these old traditions. Just because they're old traditions, they do not mean they are right. Okay, so my opinion, match grip is by far the superior grip. So listen, everybody, I know the debate's about to get out there. I know everybody is about to start attacking me on this. We're gonna have people going, you're so right, Jay, you're out of your mind, you suck, go to hell. And that's all okay, because at the end of the day, the first thing I told you was, it's your drum journey. So whatever makes you feel better at the end of the day and the start of the day, that's all that matters. My opinion is my opinion, and I'm only sharing it with you just to give you a little bit of versatility in the way you might be thinking and to give you some options and choices. All right, everybody? So listen, let the debate and battle begin. I'm going to stick to my match grip. You have fun, everyone, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Take care till next time. Bye-bye.